It took 15 years for Jey Uso to win his first singles title.
Yeet.
MVP makes an appearance on AEW. And there's a whole lot going on. I didn't write everything down, but best believe we got a whole lot going on right here on your favorite wrestling podcast. None other than the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. We got Eddie. We got Marcus.
Hello.
Fresh off of his travel day. We got Brad.
What up, everybody?
Yep, Brad has joined us. We are the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. Once again, thank you for listening. Hey, in the words of Bob Holly, hey, I got an idea. Won't you go to iTunes and give us a rating, give us a belt, we can beat everybody. Yeah, so give us a rating, review, subscription. I don't know if our listeners ever heard the Bob Holly story about the idea that he was pushing. I guess Bruce Prichard was looking for ideas.
Yeah.
But I think Bob Holly had the best idea, and I think we should attack everything in life with the Bob Holly mentality. Bruce Prichard said Bob Holly was like, "Want some ideas, Bruce? I give you an idea. How about you give me the belt and I'll beat everybody for it?"
Fair enough. I mean, that's why they're there, right?
I mean, Hardcore Holly was like the dude at that time before his arm got jacked up. Even then afterwards, he was still the dude.
That thing was funny. They said, "Won't you give me the belt? You beat everybody for it." How about that idea? I think they should have followed through with it. I mean, rarely does talent give you sensical scenarios, and that's the easiest one. You just give me the belt, let me beat everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're there, right? I mean, well, it's kind of the point of wrestling. I mean, ultimately the point, I'm sure, is sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, ultimately the point is for entertainment purposes, but hey, it's centered around a sport where people are competing for belts, and Holly was like, "Hey, I want the belt. I want to compete for this belt, and I can beat everybody." Makes sense to me. Yeah, I was never a big Bob Holly fan, but I mean, makes sense.
Wow. I mean, you should love it when like your employees or your constituents come to you with great ideas. Like, you know what, Bob, we gonna roll with it. I don't care what we got going on, we gonna roll with it. We just gonna give you the belt, and you gonna start beating him, and him. But you're gonna lose to him. In the meantime, this is what it is. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Monday night, Jey Uso said, "You know what? I think I'm gonna beat Bron Breakker for the Intercontinental title." I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't see it coming. I thought it may have would have happened at the big pay-per-view, but they said, "You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and do it on Monday Night Raw. We ain't got much more time left on the network anyway, so let's go ahead and do it." So a question that I have to ask, I mean, Brad, you can chime in as well too.
Yeah, I saw the clips.
Okay, Bron Breakker only had a title, I think, for 51 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
The first question that I have is, do you think they took the belt off of Bron Breakker too early? I'll let y'all. It don't matter who goes first. Just somebody answer the question.
I don't think so. I mean, Bron Breakker's got his whole career ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this quick title reign in. You know, get it over to Jey Uso. Get him this Intercontinental title run. See where it goes, and then figure it out from there.
Okay. Yeah. What say you, Marcus?
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's being that he is relatively new to the main roster, and he's still kind of seen as a rookie in people's eyes. I think it won't hurt him nearly as much. Not to mention, this dude. I'm pretty sure this dude's going to be world champion one day, provided he keeps his nose clean, and he avoids major injuries and whatnot. The dude has the pedigree. He has the look. He has the moves. He's a WWE guy through and through. Is his daddy Rick Steiner, his uncle Scott Steiner. And I know the Steiners weren't necessarily weren't in WWE's good graces for the most part, but this dude was grown in a laboratory. I don't know, those Steiners, they grow themselves in laboratories. They're genetic freaks and they're not normal. Bron Breakker is going to be a world champion, and I'm sure he's probably going to be a multiple-time IC champion and US champion on the way to becoming a multiple-time world champion. So he'll be fine.
Yep. I think Bron Breakker will be fine because, like I said, I didn't see it coming this damn soon. That's the whole thing. I didn't see it coming this soon. As soon as you can kind of tell as soon as he started putting the moves together. Okay, he ran in the barricade. Okay, he got him in the ring. Okay, this could be it. Oh, this is it. Oh man, he gonna beat him. This hit 1, 2, 3. So I mean, all in all, I think it was I'm like you, Marcus. I think it was a good loss. A good loss for Bron Breakker because I think for him there's nowhere to go but up. You know what I mean? There's nowhere to go but up, and so on the bigger and better things. From what I heard, it's going to be a rumored face turn. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, there's supposed to be a rumored face turn when it comes to Bron Breakker. There we go. You're back with us.
Yeah.
All right. There was supposed to be a rumored face turn with Bron Breakker. I can see it because, he's like, hey, I don't know where we're at, but we got some dogs in the house, and they went to barking. I remember a few short years ago, I think 2 years ago, when he came to Monday Night Raw, he was the NXT champion. Dude got zero action. He got zero reaction, nothing.
Really?
Yeah. And so like, who's that? I said, that's Bron Breakker. That's Rick Steiner's son. They was like, oh yeah, really? I said, yep. And it was just like everybody was just kind of just sitting on their hands, just like, oh, well, da 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 da. And I was like, y'all okay, y'all keep on sitting on them hands. And then it took him doing his tour duty in NXT. And by the time he came to the main roster and showed that, hey, he was a real deal, legitimate, badass ass kicker, I think the fans respected him. I think they was like, okay, well, shit, he's a real deal now. He if he anything like his uncle and daddy, boy, he gonna be hell on wheels, boy. Ooh, he gonna be hell on wheels as well. So I think it took sometimes with certain superstars, it takes time. It takes time. It takes time. And with Bron Breakker, it took the right amount of time. I will say that. It took the right amount of time, and so now here we are. I mean, best of luck to him, man. Best of luck to him. Best of luck to him.
Yeah, he'll be fine. And I think this will shut Rikishi up, whining about Jey Uso not getting over. And two, I mean, I really don't see Jey Uso being a world champion. He's definitely got the charisma. He's definitely over. But I think the IC title, especially as prestigious as Gunther has made it once again, I think that this is a great title for him to hold. Not to mention, he's 40 now. And so 39, 40, somewhere close to our age. Not saying that he can. I mean, we got Damian Priest. He's 40. He was world champion earlier this year. But I don't really see a lot of upside on Jey Uso at this point. Whereas Bron Breakker, man, the sky's the limit for this kid. Like I said, as long as he stays healthy and he stays out of trouble, I think, he's gonna go on to do great things in the main event scene in the future for WWE. So he'll be fine.
Yep. The former Baltimore Raven draft pick, the former Kennesaw State, is it Owls?
Owls, State? Yep. Bob
Reese. I was like, they're the yellow birds, the jackets. Yellow bird is hot sauce, by the way. I was like, Brad's corpsing. I am the table.
Man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matthew.
Man, I miss those. I don't see them as much as I used to. The Matthew videos.
They still come out. It's just
you gotta catch them.
YouTube be shadow banning that man. Those shits are funny. I'm sorry, they're hilarious. Every single one of them has been just ridiculous, and they're all Simpsons references.
Yeah.
And if you watch The Simpsons, you might love Botchamania.
I don't think I've ever seen any of those videos. I might being a huge Simpson fan. Yeah, I definitely got to check that out.
Hold on. I will do you the service of sending you the Botchamania link just so you can start. I mean, they're on like 500.
Yeah.
500, 501, something like that. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the one where Shelton Benjamin is just because he's standing there and like the Pythagorean theorem is going by and the square root of pi, and he's just standing there just like.
Oh yeah, when he was doing that one stupid gimmick where they would ask him something, he would just think, "What was that?"
I hated that. That was so dumb.
I was like, this shit's goofy.
Mhm.
Literally, it is absolutely goofy. Something else happened in the world of pro wrestling this week. MVP made an appearance on the AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, if you will. But before we even go there, how about that match with Nigel McGuinness and the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson? He even came out to the final countdown. And I was like, yeah. As soon as I heard that, I was like, hey, let me go ahead and put this remote down and let me look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that match was amazing. Like, I know I told both of y'all, last night I had to work late because the firm that I work with, they had a rollout of a very important program and they needed to train. I helped train some people over in Asia, in Singapore, Tokyo, and Singapore and Tokyo, whatever. Y'all don't care about that. But
over there, yeah.
unfortunately, I was able to watch that match in its totality because it was the first match. At first I was a little miffed, like, wait, why is this the first match? At the same time, like, ooh, at least I get to watch it because my class was at 9, and unfortunately I missed out on most of Osprey and the Bucks, and I didn't even get to see Conglomeration versus Learning Tree. But yeah, I got to see Nigel and Danielson tear it up, and it was everything I was hoping it would be. And Nigel is in great shape, man. I know JR pointed it out a few times, and that man is in amazing shape to be 48 years old and hasn't wrestled a singles match in 13 years. He looked like he looked rusty in the Battle Royal at All In, but in this match he looked sharp, and it was like, wow, okay, Nigel still got it.
Yeah. What did I see something about? I guess WWE had told AEW, hey, put it back. When it comes to it, I think it was a video about Nigel McGuinness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is weird. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Nigel was Nigel in WWE,
right?
but Nigel has been Nigel, like been Nigel since we've been knowing Nigel. So like,
Yes,
why?
except for his Desmond Wolfe years, of course.
Wolfie. Think about the Pope. Come here, Wolfie. Desmond Wolfie. I'm gonna beat the brakes off you, baby. It's a Pope. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be you and Wolfie.
The Pope is ridiculous, man.
That dude's a trip too. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen Pope like just normal, like outside the ring or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember I told you I saw him. I met him at All Caribbean Wrestling at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That dude is the exact same way outside the ring. It's like, wow.
He is.
Yeah.
He is, and I remember it was backstage at a TNA thing where they were giving out passes or whatever, and they're signing autographs. Somebody's like, "Hey, Pope, somebody said the Pope ain't Pippin." And then he looks over. He said, "Who said that?" And then the guy wouldn't say anything. And I was like, and then he looks over and he said, "Hey, man behind brother man, whoever said it, they lying. Pope always Pippin."
I said, at that Jackson, that's that Duval, that's that Jacksonville. Whoever said it, they lying, baby. They lying. He tripped out Desmond Wolfe.
Wolfie.
I'm gonna beat you down something real serious, Wolfie. He didn't call him Desmond. I was like, just call him Wolfie. I was like, oh my god. And the funny thing about it is, every time I look at Nigel McGuinness, I hear a little voice in my back of my head going, Wolfie. Where is he at, man? He need to be on somebody's TV. The Pope.
Is he in NWA?
All Caribbean Wrestling has been his baby, man, and been jumping around. Like, he's been doing shows in Jacksonville, and of course they go to the Bahamas and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think he's doing anything in a major or a major indie, if you will. Just because I don't even think he does much stuff with Impact these days or anything with Impact.
Yeah, D'Angelo De Niro, the Pope, Elijah Burke. We need him. I think that's going to be our next topic for next week's show for the main event. Who needs to be back on my TV? who needs to get away? Who needs to be back on my TV? Hey, if you're listeners out there, if you got any ideas, holla at us. Let us know. Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling on Twitter and on Facebook, and on Instagram too. We out there. Pretty soon we're gonna have us a Linktree link. So I will say this, man, it's been quite the interesting weekend in the world of pro graps. As I talked to you guys earlier, I had a chance to watch the first 3 episodes of Mr. McMahon.
Ooh.
And I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I think it's a well put together documentary because for the first time it's him talking about him. And he's even like, I'm not used to talking about me. This is different. Anybody else? I'll tell you all day. Me? Not so much. Because I don't want everybody to know me. I was like, oh, you spooky old man. Okay. Yeah, okay. You spooky old man. Yep. And then, of course, it brought up the Ring Boy incident.
Oh, yeah.
The Rita Chatterton incident. The steroid trial. Of course, it brought all that up. And I think I'm where I'm at. I think I'm right up to like the attitude era of everything. And so. And then I'll say this: Tony Atlas is the gift that keeps on giving.
I've been seeing that one meme about him flying around about the Pat Patterson story.
Yeah, he said, I'm glad Pat Patterson's out there because he kept trying to grab my packer. And the dude said, "Excuse me, you heard me? The man trying to grab my packer. You gonna tell? Who am I gonna tell, son? You must not know about pro wrestling business, do you, son?"
My question is, why is he wearing a sleeveless business shirt with a tie?
That's the gimmick. That's the gimmick,
brother.
The man lives it.
We even got one of those too.
Oh, nice.
Oh gosh.
Nice.
Yeah, he was throwing those in. I'll pop for it. I'm like, wait a minute. He talking about a man grabbing his pecker, and I'm over here laughing like, what's wrong with me? Nothing. He just hit me with a and that's it. So yeah. That damn Tony Atlas, he was like, son, who am I gonna tell? You must not know how the pro wrestling business works, now, do you?
He was holding the book.
Huh?
He was holding the book. He's the booker.
He's like, he's the booker. If I say something, I'm getting fired. Then what I'm gonna do? Tony, you got a point, but it's just, I don't know, man. I will say this: if anyone listening ever has a chance to watch that documentary on Netflix, watch it at your own discretion, and just try to be as open-minded as possible. There's some of the stuff that we know, and there's some stuff like, ooh, what is this? Prime example, like a lot of people didn't know that. Well, I knew because I found out via Jesse Ventura on the Steve Austin podcast that when Jesse Ventura started to, pitch the idea of unionization around, Hulk was like, that's not going to work here, brother. Put it back. Hey, Vince. Yeah, so
Terry snitched on him.
Yeah.
Damn it, Terry.
Yeah, that damn Terry, they're gonna unionize, and I think Terry knew back then the power of the unions. Like, that's not gonna work for me, brother. He really said
I
it.
got good shit.
And they haven't talked since. That's almost 40 years ago. 40 plus years ago.
Yeah, that's I mean, you gotta give it to Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura got his royalties. Yeah, Jesse Ventura is as much as sometimes as off cam as he can be. You know what? I understand the reason why he did that. It makes perfect sense. I mean, hey, ain't about to get no 401k. We're risking our lives. At any moment, we can get dropped on our head, and that's the end of it. So, yeah. So it's just kind of like, when you try to watch out for somebody, and then that happens, and it's like, man, come on, man. It's because it's going good for you, but it's not going good for a Dusty Wolf type, a jobber type, something happened to them, So it's just, it's weird. It's really weird. Brad, your girl, Mina Shirakawa made an appearance on Dynamite.
She sure did, buddy.
Mina.
Yeah.
She sure did.
I forgot I think I was drinking something. I was like, who that is?
Nina.
Yeah, was so fine.
She is, oh God, it's unreal how fine Mina Shirakawa is.
Yeah.
What Mariah call her, the H-Cup Angel?
Yeah.
H-Cup Angel.
Yeah,
Do the dance. Do the dance. Like, yeah.
It's just, she's like forcibly making her do the dance, and I was like, wow, what kind of manipulation tactics are these? Because you know the reason why she was trying to like make up something, right?
Mm.
You know where she said she was going to be because she's tag teaming with Toni Storm this weekend in Japan.
Oh.
So that's creating more story, more wrinkles for those that say AEW doesn't have stories. They got stories.
That's probably their best one. Well, next to what they're currently doing with like Mox and Marina Shafir and Danielson and them. But this whole long baking Tony to Mariah to Mina it's been one of my favorite stories that AEW has had.
And I'm glad y'all are getting, and America is getting exposure to Mina Shirakawa. She's something else, man. She's able to do some pretty cool stuff at her size, and everything that she's been doing at Stardom for the last few years, being here on U.S. soil, people falling in love with Mina, hearing her, seeing her dance and get it on in the ring. I mean, we want Mina. We want Mina.
When she came in and wins that, I was like, God damn, ooh, baby. I almost hit that Jerry Butler boy. Do it to you, do it to me. Like I want to you. Just like that, boy. I know my downstairs think I'm nuts, but I don't care. It don't matter. Now, honey, just come knock on my door and join the party. All right, enough of us being silly. Let's go ahead and hop into the 3 counts of news and notes, shall we, fellas? I just found this one, and this happened Sunday as I was sitting here in my apartment, and I was like, wait a minute. Why are they showing this footage of this dude getting ejected from the game? He had a Caleb Williams jersey on, and come to find out, when the hat came off, I see an all too familiar blonde streak of hair and a side profile. I said, damn it, that's none other than Tyler Black, a.k.a. Seth freaking Rollins. So this past Sunday, he was at a Chicago Bears and Indianapolis Colts game in Indiana, and the person that 8-6 his ass out of the section, former Colts wide receiver, T.Y. Hilton. His arms ought to be big by doing that all the time. T.Y. Is it T.U. or T.Y.? Like, it should be just like, I'm saying there's a whole lot going on. So it was T.Y. Hilton. So, so we got Seth Rollins out here enjoying domestic light beers and getting kicked out of the game. And with his Caleb Williams jersey on. Somebody's like, how the hell is he a Chicago Bear fan? He live in Iowa. Iowa ain't got nothing but Hawkeyes and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I mean, he's had plenty of like his ring gear fits with like Bears colors on them over the years. Like, how did they miss that?
Yeah, some people they just.
And he wrestled in Chicago a lot when he was Tyler Black, so people put 2 and 2 together.
Just like we had a conversation off air about them circuits. Sometimes when it comes to people, they just don't line up. It's just two dead ass wires, not doing nothing but just going, and that's it.
It ain't working.
It ain't working. It ain't working. So you're gonna look at me. You're not gonna tell me the printer's out of. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. yeah. Just. I'll just say this, ladies and gentlemen. Common sense ain't so damn common nowadays. It's sad to say it's about to be a lost art form.
Yeah.
Damn. And the words of my mama. And the M stands for. All right, so let's go ahead and move right along. If you would have been around for this pre-show, pre-production meeting, as we like to call it.
One for the ages.
Marcus is like, you better hurry up before this hurricane come. Brad has been on the road for 10 hours, so everything's kind of just doing this right here, and so hey, I'm just here.
I'm at Storm Zero right now, not Tony Storm's finisher.
Real quick.
Yes.
Best power driver in the West.
Shoot, that's what's about to happen here in Georgia in a little while.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and hopefully everything will be all right by the time everybody listens to this out there, and hopefully don't lose power or it'll be back for me by the time this podcast goes live or is made available and stuff. But if for some reason I don't finish this episode and Marcus, what happened? Chances are my power has gone out. But hopefully I'll be here. Yes, and the M in my name now stands for I'll be known as M. Wayne James. The M stands for
It's official tissue now.
Oh, man, it's official now. Ladies and gentlemen, coming soon, the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling. We're going to have T-shirts. We're going to have the Uncle Marcus line where he famously said Samantha Irvin, she broke something. Brad, put it back. Don't touch it. Me with the S10 pickup sedans, coupes, and trucks. Uncle Marcus, the M stands for Hey, you know what? It's kind of like MSK. We never knew what the hell it stood for, but as soon as they, but you know, the MSK stands for.
Zach Wentz is literally wrestling at the moment. He just hit his finisher as you say that.
I got that telepath whatever you call it. All right. So
did you do the Sports Center music?
I sure did. Yeah. All right. Yep. So moving right along, we got another story. We got another for you, right? Earlier we talked about Bron Breakker and his athletic pedigree. Well, fellas, I don't know if you know, but there is another Steiner out there. All right. This week, a picture of the son of Scott Steiner, Brock Rex Steiner, is taking the internet by storm. According to Inside the Ropes, currently an image of Scott Steiner's son, Brock Rex Steiner, is going viral on the internet and social media. Rex Steiner plays as wide receiver. Damn, he that big, boy, you want to play tight end.
Play wide receiver?
Boy, if he played wide receiver, I play running back.
You feel like T.O.
Literally.
Yeah. He's only 200 pounds, I think. He's only he's like two something. So I mean, he's receiver weight. That dude's cut.
Oh, he's 6'2", 225. That's damn near Anquan Bolden size just about. Or was Bolden a little bit bigger?
Yeah, he's like 6'5".
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4", 6'5". He's in that range.
Jesus Christ.
I thought that picture was AI when I saw it. It's like,
I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, something looks weird about this. But as I said earlier about Bron, they just grow them. The Steiners are grown in labs. He's a genetic freak. He's the son of a genetic freak, and he's not normal.
Freaks and peaks. The real story is we need to know how his math is.
8 days a week.
8 days a week. I got freaks 8 days. That's a week.
There's only 7 days in a week. I'm the big bad booty daddy.
You and him and fat ass Samoa Joe. I was like, oh my God, boy, he used to give Samoa Joe the business, boy. Fat ass Samoa Joe.
And the Dudleys. Oh man. Oh, sorry, Team 3D.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Team 3D, fat asses. He was just. You remember the time Scott Steiner was a ring announcer?
Yes. He's like coming at us. It's coming straight out of blah blah blah. Oh God.
That was the Chet Lemon in Black Snow episode.
Oh, Black Snow. Oh, here we go. Booker T's in the ring. He's beating everybody. I was like,
you got a thrust kick.
Yeah, and then you hear the voiceover of Kevin Nash. I'm like, that's a voiceover. You can tell it's a pioneer voiceover, right? All right, so let me finish this little piece of article right here. Rex Steiner plays as wide receiver for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, the other fake Gamecocks. It has some impressive stats to his name. The number 89 boasts 7 receptions, 1 touchdown, and has covered 142 yards in 17 games. It's like a special teams by me. He began as a freshman in 2021 and currently is a redshirt junior at 6'2", 225. The boy will be playing tight end. The wide receiver hails from Woodstock, Georgia, and did his high school at Etowah High School. During high school, he was named the GHSA Class 7A All-State team by Recruit Georgia and had an impressive performance in both football and basketball. So he can, yeah. So he's this is no surprise. The Steiners are athletes.
And he really is a genetic freak.
Well,
It's not normal.
he is not normal. Yep. He on this says this. Let's see. On Saturday, at the time this article came out, on Saturday, he helped his team win to get their first win of the season. He recorded 2 receptions for 90 yards, including an impressive 85-yard touchdown. He is currently in a relationship with 2-time Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year and beach volleyball player Neva Clark. All right, so another Steiner fellas. How long before we see him either on NXT or on the main roster? Because it's bound to happen.
Once he's done with college.
3-4 years, probably.
3-4 years.
I get that. Unless he does go to the NFL.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'll go ahead, Marcus. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, he might try to take the road that his cousin took, but I guess if that doesn't work, then yeah, he can take up the family business.
I'm looking at the highlight of his 85-yard touchdown and fast, coming out his route, get the ball. He's fast. Next thing, in the words of Shannon Sharp and them, he gonna hit his head on the goalpost.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know the other fake Jacksonville was a member of Conference USA. Is that Conference even? Is it still there, Conference USA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still Conference USA. Conference USA basically took all these other schools whenever everybody else left for the big conferences, and they're just like, come on to Conference USA. It's fine. It's not the AAC, but it's fine. Come on.
Yeah, that conference threw me off. I'm like, the AAC. I'm like, what is this, like scabs from the Sun Belt and scabs from the
Say hey now.
No, because Houston was part of AAC,
Houston
right?
was a part of it. Yeah, it was basically Conference USA rebuilt.
Oh, man, it was just. I swear it's like every 2 to 5 years we get new conference. Next thing you know, it'll be conference Carolinas or something. This is some more shit for us to keep up with. All right.
Always something.
I don't even know who's in what conferences anymore in college because everybody's. I mean, you got teams out in the West joining the doggone Big Ten and teams over here joining the SEC and up here in the ACC, Mountain West. It's just crazy. So it's just like, all right, who playing? This game looks interesting. I don't even care anymore. It's just like, hey, what game looks the most interesting? That's the one I'll watch.
Don't forget about the Pac-12 resurgence. Pac-12 is basically the Mountain West. It's basically the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah,
but with like 3 new teams. That's it.
Yeah, because Pac-12 was like what? Was it Oregon?
Yeah,
Oregon State.
Oregon State, Washington State, UCLA, Colorado, and I think like another California team somewhere. USC.
Arizona and Arizona State.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I want to see what this new Pac-12 look like. It's
Boise State, like some other teams from the Mountain West. That's it.
Yeah. Boys say about good for another run. They're gonna be like Bob Holly. Give us a conference time. We're gonna beat everybody, which they were doing for a very long time. They were beating everybody. If it wasn't nailed down, your ass would get beat by Boise State. Don't believe me. Ask Oklahoma that one year in 2000.
Oh, that game was amazing.
That game was crazy.
Yes, yeah, I think it was 7. Yeah, because that's back when I was living back home in Columbia for a little bit.
I think that's the same year Michigan lost, ain't it?
In the championship?
No, the App State.
Appalachian
State.
2007?
Yeah. So. I think it's 2007, something like that. Somewhere on there.
Possibly, yeah. I don't remember what year that happened.
Yeah. I remember that because I was in New Hampshire like, hey, y'all got beat by them boys from the mountains. Them boys, they from the mountains. They from the mountains.
Yeah.
Y'all got beat up. Yeah, they got beat up. All right, we got one more news story here. I think we're going to add another one down the road if you don't mind. Unfortunate update on Roman Reigns' cousin Zilla Fatu's wrestling career. Now, no, this is not facts. This is some articles that we're reading, but so take it with a grain of salt and do your research, all right? We're just talking about stuff that's interesting, all right? according to Wrestling Inside the Ropes Wrestling. It says that a major unfortunate update on Roman Reigns' cousin Zilla Fatu's wrestling career has popped up. Fatu, the son of Umaga and Reigns' cousin, is a rising name in the independent wrestling circuit. However, it now seems that his career has hit a speed bump. Damn. Fatu was last seen in a winning battle against Gringo Loco on September 15th at GCW, the G-Code, Woody, 2024. Reportedly, the promotion reached an impasse after Zilla Fatu did not show up for an appearance. Ooh, that's not good. GCW has decided to halt their working relationship with Fatu. The wrestling promotion shared on X, aka Twitter, that they will not be working with Fatu in the foreseeable future and wished him the best on his next journey. And the tweet goes as follows from GCW. Zilla Fatu will not be appearing on tonight's GCW event in Philadelphia or any GCW shows for the foreseeable future. We tried our best to avoid this situation, but we have reached an impasse. We wished him the best. Matt Tremont will now face Slade tonight at GCW Aura in Philly. Damn. You know what? I've seen some things on the internet, man, and it seems like to me, from what I've been perceiving, because, perception is what you make it, Zilla Fatu's reputation seems to precede him.
Yep.
Yeah. He had one before he got to GCW of not being easy to work with.
Yeah. And the thing, if I'm Zilla Fatu, I'm sitting my ass down somewhere, and what you don't need to do, Zilla Fatu, is turn yourself into another Teddy Hart.
Yep. Yeah, what did I say the other day? Like him and the Tonga twins, somebody from the NOIE family needs to have a serious conversation with them. Like, hey, look, I don't care who you know, I don't care what your bloodline is. This ain't how you do business.
Yeah, this ain't how you do business. Brad, did you say you saw something about this whole situation about Zilla Fatu, or?
I did. So apparently, and then this is what was kind of like, dropped around here and there. So as we said before, take it with a grain of salt. They said it was a money issue that he changed the script on them. He wanted more. Instead of going for his usual rate, he wanted like twice as much, which is insane. You don't hit GCW's owner with that before the show. You don't do that. I mean, he's still learning a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's over with a lot of people. He could do some crazy stuff, and he's young still. He's still cutting his teeth because even before he came to GCW, he was at Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's school down in Texas City, Texas, and that's a school that churns out a lot of good wrestlers. And if you got problems coming out of Booker T's school, that is something that needs to be addressed as soon as possible, because nobody's going to want you if you act like that. So hopefully somebody sits him down and is like, hey, I know we know you got to get your paper, but this isn't the way to get your paper. And calm the youngin' down.
Yeah, there's ways to get your money, but big shotting or big leaguing the owner of the company, I don't. No. I mean, you get your money when it's time, or if you feel like you're not getting your money, then you got to go to where somebody gonna give you some money. So it'll just have to be like, you got to make this executive decision, but you also have to be smart about this decision you make. That'd be like me, just barreling down one of my jobs. But I want this and that. No, we can't do that. Well, it's just it's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's really like a lot that you don't have to. You really don't have to get into it if you don't want to. Just like we said on the Wellness Check Wednesday podcast this past Wednesday came out, knowing and learning when to pick your battles.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you over here want to fight everybody, that's not going to look good for you.
No,
fight everybody.
Now, I would imagine too, like, far be it for me to say this, because I've never been in the business. I don't know anything about the business. I don't want to come off as one of those guys that think they know best just because they heard a few insider terms or whatever. But this seems like one of those things where one of the old school cats, and to your point, Brad, Booker, he went through Booker school. Like, I wonder how did this miss the mark? Or maybe Book gave him the talk and maybe it's just not landing. But seems like he needs to revisit the idea of, bro, you need to pay your dues right now. Like, yeah, sure, you come from a pedigree of arguably one of the most prestigious families in all of pro wrestling history. However, you're still down here on the pecking order. You're I don't care who your daddy was. I don't care who your uncles, your cousins, your granddaddy, any of them are. You are this guy. You're down here at the bottom. You haven't done a damn thing yet in the business, and you need to cut your teeth, and you need to do it the right way instead of just expecting people to just bow down and kiss your butt because your last name is Fatu and because the blood that runs through your veins is shared amongst the NOI family, you know?
That's the thing about nepotism, man. It's something else. It's like, hey, you know, like, I'm going to use my name and I'm going to da-da-da-da-da. I mean, in some instances that works, and in some instances it doesn't. But like you said, you know, you have to learn to, I mean, and we can all agree here in our respective fields, our respective businesses, before we got to where we are now, we had to pay them damn dues. And the thing about paying dues is some people understand it and some people don't. But when it comes to paying dues, what I've learned personally, don't look to be understood. Just go. Yeah, don't look to be understood. Just go. Fellas, guess who was on the Breakfast Club a few days ago?
Ooh, I know.
Who you got, fellas?
CEO.
Mercedes Moné herself.
Yeah.
Who actually, before we actually started our call this evening, I was watching New Japan. It was a replay of her match against Willow the first time for the NWJP Strong title where she broke her foot. And I don't know if y'all saw me, but before the call, I think, Eddie, that's when you were telling us the story about the two wires. And I was listening, but at the same time I was looking, I saw the spot. I was like, ooh, because I think I saw it before, but actually seeing it happen in real time was like, yikes.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, that foot. Because the way she fell, it was like a straight down fall.
But yeah, she was on. We did see that she was on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and them.
DJ Envy, and I don't know who that gal is. It's not Jess Hilarious, it's some other gal.
Yeah.
Because Jess Hilarious is on maternity leave, so Jess is a mama. She's a mama.
And it Angela Yee?
No, she got her. She left. She got her own thing now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. She left. Good old Charlemagne the God, straight out of Moncks Corner, South Carolina. All right. So Mercedes Moné, she had a chance to open up and talk about one of the reasons why she left World Wrestling Entertainment. According to SC Scoops, and the title goes, Mercedes Moné, she said, Vince McMahon's disrespect drove me out of WWE. All right, so Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks in WWE, recently revealed that disrespectful treatment by Vince McMahon was a key factor in her decision to leave WWE, a career she once considered a dream. While promoting his AEW Grand Slam event, that's why they were in town, in New York City, Moné appeared on The Breakfast Club, where she candidly discussed her departure from WWE and shared her thoughts of Mr. McMahon, the subject of the Netflix docuseries, Mr. McMahon. Moné explained that personal issues, particularly how McMahon spoke to her in a demeaning manner, played a significant role in her decision to leave. She felt talked down to and realized it was time to go. And she says, and I quote, I left for many different reasons. A lot of personal stuff happened with myself and the chairman at the time. I didn't like how he talked to me and how I was talked down to. It's like, it's time to listen, and it's time to your soul and to your heart. All right. And then she said something else. She said, there was a light that came to me and I left WWE. A guy told me. That day taught me a little crazy. It was enough for my source of light to come into my body and go, if you stay, that's not okay. This is for the rest of your life. What are you going to teach your kids? What are you going to teach people? And then later on, she said, after 10 years, if you're feeling like this from words, you have to stand up for yourself. That's what I did. A light came to me and said, you have to walk away and do something better for yourself. I saw bits and pieces of the interview, but in a nutshell, she pretty much told us like why she left the Stanford Entertainment conglomeration, TKO Militia Mafia, and the stands for anyways. So what are your thoughts on this, fellas? What do you think? What do you think?
I think definitely there's a lot of truth to this. However, I can't help but think that she might be grandstanding a little bit because Tony Khan is currently writing her checks.
Big old checks.
Yeah. And, I know during that same interview, like Charlemagne asked, would she ever return? And she kind of hesitated. And then she's like, yeah. She kind of said, well, maybe, but, maybe not because AEW is the one that's paying me now. I forgot exactly how she said. I'm with AEW now, but we all know, we've all seen this story plenty of times before where people in the past have left, and this was of course back when WCW was still around, or when TNA was kind of more in the limelight. You could leave WWE, and there was life outside of WWE, and you could go and get a very lucrative contract from another promotion and stuff like that. But we've seen those same people like, peace, I'm out, go over to the other promotion. They might be there for a little bit, but then they end up coming back to WWE. Look at CM Punk. CM Punk was gone for 7 years. We never thought we was going to see this man in any wrestling, let alone WWE. First, he came back to AEW, which I'm sure Tony opened up that wallet wide to get him back. And then after that, he went back where? WWE. And he's there, and he seems to be thriving, and things haven't blown up yet. And this is the guy that we thought we would never see darken the doorstep of WWE ever again with how they treated him the first time around. Mm-hmm. But he's back. And, he's just one of many people who left WWE in a huff only to return later on. I mean, freaking Eric Bischoff, WCW's the leader of WCW during their heyday, the one that declared war against WWE, WWF at the time in the mid-90s, and actually beat WWF many weeks in a row. He ended up being on WWE television for quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, sure. I do believe there is some truth to what she said. But at the same time, I do believe also that if she comes towards the end of her contract and maybe she feels that things are stagnant, or maybe she feels that she's not getting the treatment that she deserves, or whatever the case may be, I'm sure if Trips come calling, like, hey, Mercedes, or you want to come back home, I'm sure she's going to be on the first thing smoking back to Stanford. And next thing you know, we're going to hear that music. Sorry, I had to do that.
And Michael Cole go, it's boss time.
Oh, God, no. No.
It's boss time. And I'm like,
oh, God.
Go looking out the way. That's my jam. I did like that song, though.
Yeah. I don't like that theme sheet. I don't like that in-between theme that she had between WWE and
Oh yeah, that was awful. I heard that tonight on New Japan. It was like, God, this is awful.
Horrible.
Oh, the crisscross sample.
It was oh my goodness.
It was bad. I was like, ooh, I'm glad they gave her that CEO jam.
Hey, look. As soon as I heard that song, I was like, Def Rebel did this shit, didn't he? Def Rebel did this, didn't he?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean,
it was
oh no.
Horrible.
It's like and I'm like,
I think they didn't do that sample any justice.
No
justice, and it's just money, money, and it's like, oh God, like. The first time it was cool. I was like, cool, they sampled crisscross. And then you hear it again and you're like, wait a minute.
The hell is this?
No, yeah, this ain't good.
Now,
I'm sorry.
What in the Def Rebel Wax a Million, I ain't got no panties on record producer is this?
Wax a Million.
I ain't got no hood. Just make me hot. It's just like, no.
Yeah. That damn wax man. And so you know what, man? This is off topic, but I remember I was on I was on IG the other day, right? And next thing you know, I hear boom, 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 pull them panties off, yeah, hell yeah. I was like, 20. It's amazing how damn near 20 years later, like BET Uncut is still relevant.
It's still.
I mean, it was a time, man. For those of us that remember it, like it was like those handfuls of videos that used to play almost every night.
Yeah.
And that was in my book. That was the cream of the creme de la creme. I know it was Tip Drill by Nelly for many people, but no, I'm a Waxamillion, ain't got no panties on the dance floor guy. That song was hilarious.
What's
the video?
Was white girl,
Black Jesus, Mighty Case of White Girls.
White girls. That one was hilarious.
Don't tell Minister Farrakhan. He don't need to know what's going on. Cause white girl. And I was like, oh my God, no wonder this is being played.
Or whatever.
Yeah. He said it with the girls. It's just and what's another one? I'm trying to kick it tonight. Oh, so baby, tell me what that smell like. And I was like, what? It was. I am definitely putting an E by this here.
I remember Benzino had this one video. I forgot how the song went.
With the Jamaican dude. Give me the white, give me the black, give me the Chinese.
Towards the end of the video, he was in a convertible, and there was like this light-skinned chick in a yellow dress, and like her booty was hanging out. And I remember like there was this big-ass pimple on her booty. Like, no! The music video with your ass.
Girl, get some Noxzema on your cheeks. Come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Oh my God.
What are we doing?
Oh man.
BET Uncut was a time like for those that remember. If you know, you know. If you don't know, BET Uncut used to come on at like after midnight to like 2 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah, no, he used to come on at 2.
2. Oh, okay. So it was 1 a.m. for me.
Eastern time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, what's the guy name? I know this is so off topic, so if you cut this podcast off, I get it. What's the guy name? It was a black dude with braids that sounded like Tupac, but he was from South Carolina. His name was Nicodemus. Matter of fact, I got his CD and it's really good.
Oh.
Nicodemus had a song called Make It Shake. I'm like, damn, this dude sound like Tupac. I'm like, but I listened to the album. I'm like, he talking about some Timminsville. I'm like, whoa, this Timminsville. Yeah. I'm like, he from South Carolina for real.
Dang.
Yeah, he got a song called Carolina Rollin', and then got a song called Oi, and I was like, yeah, if you say something about some Oi, you from South Carolina. Oi, boy, what you doing? Yeah, you definitely from, certain things you could pick up from certain regions. Like, yeah, you're definitely from there. But yeah, if, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whoever you are listening to this podcast, if you ever get a chance, just type in BET Uncut and you'll thank me for it. Yeah, it's just.
At the very least. Type in Waxamillion. Yeah. Yes, not Maximilian, Waxamillion. WAX a million. Yeah. I ain't got no panties on the dance floor. Kick back and enjoy.
Yeah, that was
ridiculous.
Yeah.
and then they had the ludicrous song P popping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was
on the dance.
Yeah, you had that one, and then what was my favorite? Time for freaking, time to come clean with them tight ass jeans. You know what I mean? Bongo.
My God.
Do y'all remember the Wally World song? Was that on there, or was that just like a random viral video?
That was a random viral video.
Wally. It was like the dude in like the tank top and shorts, and like there was two big girls, and they were like literally in Walmart dancing.
Oh,
big girls were twerking.
They want Walmart. Yeah. Wally.
She wants some douche. She was like,
oh no.
Like, oh, good Lord.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Oh, I know exactly.
I'll have to dig it up.
Oh, I'm going to have to say that to you, Eddie.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. And no, this last 5 minutes, we ain't taking it out. Look, if If your other favorite podcast go off track and come back on script, we can do that too. All right. So yeah, if you get a chance to watch BET Uncut, do it. If you're under the age of 10, you shouldn't even be listening to this podcast.
No.
Go home. This is not copper certified. Get your ass up out of here. What are you doing?
Watch some cartoons.
Yeah. Go watch some cartoons. Yeah, go watch some cartoons. Go watch the Easter Bunny and all them. All right.
But no, man, I remember Tip Drill, and this is the first time I heard the song. I was like, okay, this jamming, and then all of a sudden the video, and I was like, oh,
the hell is this?
There's a lot happening here, and I remember at my cousin's graduation party. It was his was the week after mine. We're at this place. Everybody's dancing, and the Tip Drill comes on. Everybody goes bananas, right? Whole place goes crazy. This girl, she pulls out her debit card, and she just starts swiping cheeks. So, and I was like, I need an adult. Help me. He said, it must be because it ain't your face. It did the Tip Drill. She's like, swipe. And I was like,
oh,
what is happening?
Card was nasty.
Girl, what are you doing? Was she just going down the line? She
was just going through swiping butts. Everybody's wearing jeans or whatever. So yeah, it was.
So they at least got their clothes on. But
yeah. Everybody had clothes on, but still,
but it's the principle.
She took her gold Washington Mutual debit card.
Washington
what? That's how you know how long ago this happened. This happened in like spring of 2004. And I remember this to this day. She just came in and swiped. And I was like, what?
That damn magnetic strip got all kind of smudge on it.
Oh.
That was how come my card don't work.
How come? Yeah, we know
like
why.
Several different asses.
Yeah.
Sweaty asses and that. It's like, golly.
Sweaty, shitty, pooty.
Oh God.
You just got an amalgamation of arse all on your debit card. Yeah.
And she was just having a good old time doing this. And as the song is playing, and me and my cousin's friend, we looked at each other. We're like, somebody been watching BET Uncut, bro.
A whole lot. Heavy. Heavy on it. Yes, oh my God. I'm gonna tell you what, man. The early 2000s, before the camera phone became a thing.
Oh my God.
What a time to be alive.
Oh man.
Like I tell people, I said, our generation was the last to get away with stuff. It did not be documented. Probably like 7 or 8 years later, you got cameras everywhere, man. You got cameras everywhere. All right, let's go ahead and get back on track, and let's talk about some more stuff right on the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling podcast. Ding, 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 main event time. Fellas, now, I'm pretty sure at one point in time we were avid gamers, namely of professional wrestling games, right? So, with that being said, let's have a conversation or discussion, if you will. We really gonna have an in-depth discussion about one of these games here. About pro wrestling video games. Brad, what was your first wrestling video game you ever played?
Ooh, first wrestling game I ever played that I actually liked? WrestleFest. WrestleFest.
Yeah.
I spent all my money on WrestleFest. I used to fuss that. It's like, why you spend all your money on this game? Because I'm trying to do the perfect plex. That's what I'm trying to do. trying to finish it. Because I would always pick Mr. Perfect and the Ultimate Warrior, or either Mr. Perfect and Jake the Snake on that game. So yeah, WrestleFest was my first favorite wrestling game.
That was awesome. Marcus, what say you?
As the old man of the group, my first wrestling game.
Cut it out.
Stop it. You're like 2 years older than us.
Hey man, those two videos make a difference. Have either of y'all ever played WrestleMania, the original WrestleMania on NES?
Hell yeah, with they didn't have no ropes, and they had like
the little power ups would like go by depending on who you had.
Was like Bam Bam on that game?
Yep.
Yes, he was, and he did the cartwheel. He was like on the game. The game sucked ass, but Bam Bam was cool because he did the cartwheel. Let's see. I believe that was my first. It was either that or the old school WCW game on NES too.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Hard as all get out.
It was not. It was too hard. It was too hard. I gave up.
Yeah. And then like when they were in a tag match and you had like a submission hold and like the shadow figure would come in and knock you off.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
hell? That game, like I tried to play it recently. Like I got like speaking of avid gamers, I'm not an avid gamer anymore, but this computer that I'm actually using right now is a gaming computer. And so I got an emulator and played like some of the old school games. I played that WCW game. One, it has not aged. I mean, it wasn't great to begin with back in the day, if we're being honest. And two, try to play it like, man, this thing is impossible. I can't get anything in. Like the computer was just beating the hell out of me, man. Like the AI is just impossible in that game.
Yeah.
The controller is stiff. So I'm over here just looking at some of the games here, and there was a Wrestle Kingdom video game for the Xbox 360. Now, if I'm looking at this right, it's Wrestle Kingdom. It was licensed by Ukes. Of course, you know who that is. Released in Japan for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 2. The game combines the top stars from New Japan, All Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, and freelancers. Oh, that would have been a fun game to play, right? Because on the front cover you got Masawa, Chono, and Keiji Muto. Now you got each one of them, and let's see what we have here. And then Wrestle Kingdom 2 was released in 2007, and on the front cover I'm looking at it, I think we got Shinya Hashimoto, we got the Funks, Abdul the Butcher, I think Mr. Wrestling, we got Stan Henson, Vader, Tiger Mask, Kensuke Sasaki, and some real chisel to the gills guy. I mean, it was those Japanese. You thought it was American wrestling games or something? The Japanese. If you go online and look at like Japanese wrestling games, you'll see some stuff. You'll definitely see some stuff.
Yeah, I saw a video not too long ago of like a bunch of like several Japanese wrestling games that didn't make it stateside. Like there's one like Joshi based game, and I can't remember the name of it. I think I found it on either my emulator or I found it somewhere and I played it like, oh, okay, this is cool. But to that point though, I know like the damn, I'm like blanking, Fire Pro games. Like those oftentimes, if anything, I actually wasn't aware of the Wrestle Kingdom game that you just mentioned, but Fire Pro, I know they're heavily involved with New Japan, and then there's because I have that one and I haven't really played it a lot. They also have some downloadable content of the Stardom roster too, so got a bunch of that there.
Yeah, there is a Joshi. I was just looking at it and I forgot it. Let's see, which one did I? My favorite ones, Jesus Christ, the old WCW game because you got to pick your moves.
No,
Each character had moves, and you got to pick your moves or whatever. I used to love wrestling with, was it Rick Steiner? No, Dr. Dale Steve Williams.
Oh, are you talking about the ones for Nintendo 64?
No, a regular Nintendo.
Oh, okay, then that was
Where the opening was Paul Heyman going World Championship Wrestling. That was Paul Heyman.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yep. They had the Road Warriors on the front cover of it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Like, cause Dr. Death used to have the Oklahoma Stampede on there. I remember.
Yep, the Oklahoma Stampede. Let's see. There's another game I wound up playing was SmackDown versus Raw 2008 for the Nintendo Wii, which was very interesting. It was fun.
I can imagine for the Wii.
For the Wii, wow.
Yeah, I had a Nintendo Wii. And it was kind of like you had to do this and had to do all that, and you really had to focus with that thing, man. I'll tell you, man, the Wii kept me in some good shape them years, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It kept me in some good damn shape.
What about the classic pro wrestling for Nintendo? Like
Nintendo? I never played that before.
I never did.
That one either.
Oh, see, now that's old school. Like with characters like the Amazonian, it was like literally this green dude who looked like a lizard or whatever, looked like the
Luchasaurus.
Sea Monster, yeah.
Yeah.
And then King Slender, which was like a Ric Flair knockoff, and there was Japanese wrestler, which was I think his name was like Hayabusa, but he looked like
Sabu,
Antonio Inoki.
Antonio Inoki. Okay.
Yeah, but that one was the same deal. Went back to play that one recently, and it did not age well. But there was one that was really good. I used to love back in the day, Tecmo Pro Wrestling, if y'all remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember Tecmo Pro.
Yeah, that one was cool.
Yep. Tecmo Pro was a good game. The what was the ones that come on 64? The
WCW,
No Mercy.
NWO.
yes,
Oh, yeah, No
yeah.
Mercy.
Was it WrestleMania, No Mercy, WCW versus NWO? Was it World Tour?
Yeah, World Tour, and then
And then Revenge.
Then Revenge, yeah. Those 4 games there.
Yes. In my opinion, No Mercy is the GOAT of
Yeah.
wrestling games. The only knock I have against No Mercy is that it's extremely slow. Like
Yeah.
the gameplay itself is just kind of slow, but move wise and everything else is so robust. It's so great.
Yeah.
Diggity
Diggity
dog. I was just about to say that. I was just about to damn. Yeah, man, that game was so damn cool, man. I remember my niece when she was younger. I'm trying my best not to cry, fellas, because my niece is now married with 2 kids. Anyway, so when my niece used to come over, say, "Uncle Mark, can I play wrestling?" Yeah, let's go ahead and play wrestling. We would always get Too Cool. We would always get Scotty Too Hottie and Grandmaster Sexay or Rakish and them in that matter. And so as the match is over with, they get in the ring, they start dancing, and we would just don't. Yeah, man, it was such fun, such nostalgia, man. It was that game was phenomenal. That game was great, man.
Oh yeah.
But then a game that I mentioned earlier and leave it to Brad. Brad messed around and found the damn link to what the hell I was talking about. The game in question is Wrestling Revolution, that series made by Matt Dickey. Oh my God. I never knew how much fun you could have on a cell phone. Gentlemen, when I say I spent hours upon dead batteries upon hours playing that game, it was, because what was it? Let me click on the link here, or the window still might be open. Yeah, so let's get a little look at it real quick. So it's pretty much a franchise series. The dude name is was it Matt Dickey that made it or whatever, right? And so it for it to be a game on the cell phone is pretty damn cool. I'm surprised he couldn't get this on a video game console, but I'm pretty sure he needed, rights and registrations and all that fun stuff.
It's actually available. Like I looked it up. It's on stream. Steam,
okay.
I mean.
So on PC?
Yeah.
Cool.
And he has another one called Wrestling Empire. I'll talk a little bit about that once you're done, Eddie, because it's crazy.
Okay, so this thing, it says the Wrestling Revolution rumbles into a whole, I forgot which website it is. Yeah, the SmackDownHotel.com. The Wrestling Revolution rumbles into a whole other dimension where it now reigns as the biggest 3D sim on mobiles and desktops, featuring 300 characters across 9 rosters and up to 20 of them in the ring at once. Let me tell you something. This game is revolutionary because you can have like a singles match, a tag team match, an 8-man match, like any kind of war games, any kind of match you can think of, you can have it. And this game, it's something else. Now earlier we shared a few jokes about about the names. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so for example, Brad White was Bray Wyatt. Jim Sierra is John Cena. And if you're looking back, you can look at the character like that's John Cena. Or my favorite one, Ripper Ace, Triple H. Yeah. And then you got what's another one here? Brother Soccer, clearly that's Booker T. what was it? Lance Monaco was it's supposed to be Vince McMahon. Like, if you guys ever get a chance to, matter of fact, we're gonna throw this link in the description box too, so that way you can get a good laugh at it too. But Marcus, tell us a little bit about Wrestling Empire.
Okay, so yeah, Wrestling Empire is also made by the same guy. He actually has several video games, and all of them are insane. I went down this rabbit trail one night because I've been contemplating buying Wrestling Empire. I haven't bought it yet, but same deal. It has a lot of like wrestlers that we know, and of course he changes them and gives them silly names and stuff. But in the story mode of this game, you can actually either play with one of the wrestlers or create your own wrestler and then put them through like a story mode, and they send them to different territories, and your wrestler can actually like get injured and can like die, and once they die you can no longer play with them anymore. And like wrestler like dies of crazy stuff, like wrestler, I don't know, brain exploded because they got DDT'd, or their knee got tweaked and they died from. So I don't know. It's really crazy though. It's just like, yo, what the hell? It's like, imagine just playing this wrestling game. You got your character you're proud of, you created. You can't use him no more because somebody knocked him off the top rope. He landed on his neck and broke his neck and died. It's like, golly, gee,
wow,
okay. But I mean, just and not to mention too, just I hear the gameplay itself is just very. Can I use this word, zany and over the top and just crazy? It doesn't try to take itself serious. It's not at all trying to be like a wrestling simulator or anything like the 2K games or even the SmackDown versus Raw games or any of that. It just, I mean, like I said, if you see the other games that M. Dickey has made, you understand like, oh, this dude is crazy. This dude is off his gourd, and apparently just one guy. He does it all. He makes all his games, and he's wildly creative. But he seems like he's got like a couple screws loose upstairs. So
he do.
I don't know.
Wrestling Empire got a 6-star rating out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just. Yep, and just like you said, Marcus, is Wrestling Empire is wonky and low budget fun. That's the best fun you can ever have. So the best fun you can ever have.
Oh man.
Yep, and this is the one that came out for Nintendo Switch. You said, right?
No, it may have, but the one I was looking at was for PC Steam.
Okay, Wrestling Empire, it came out on Nintendo Switch, iOS, Android, and Windows. Oh. This was the first M. Dickey game on Nintendo Switch. So this dude started making these little whack ass games on the cellular device, and he said, you know what, you gotta keep going. And wow, yeah, Matt Dickey, man, it's if you don't know who he is, you now know who he is. But yeah, like that game, and then they got like a GM mode too. Oh, so damn fun. Those games are just so fucking fun, so fun. Matter of fact, I'm gonna clear this one on my phone. I'm gonna download it.
Saturday Night Slam Masters. That's one of my all-time favorites.
That's another good one too. Mm-hmm.
That's another one.
That game was great.
Yep.
Have y'all played the sequel before?
Slam Masters 2? No, I didn't even know they had a sequel.
Yeah, it's more of a traditional fighting game than it is wrestling, kind of like the first one. And yeah, it's very obscure. The same deal. I had to kind of like download it and play it on emulators, and it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first one better.
Okay.
I got one for you. Power Move Pro Wrestling.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Power Move.
Dude,
what was that for?
Dude. PS1.
PS1. That sounds so familiar.
Yep.
Power Move Pro Wrestling. Part of me wants to say I had this. I probably did. Yes, sir, I did.
Area 51 was Kensuke Sasaki.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say, isn't there the one with the dude with the blue hair that looked like Sting? Kind of, sort of?
Yes.
That.
Power Move Pro Wrestling. Oh, shit.
Malibu Mike, he was Hiroshi Hase. If you look at the gear, you can tell who is who. I don't know who the Commandant was. I don't know who Danny McGee was.
The Egyptian.
Yeah, the Egyptian. Real generic ass names though. But it was That was my first foray into pro wrestling. Yeah, the Japanese pro wrestling. I'm like, oh, let me try this. Let me see how good this is. You had the judge. Let's see. Let me see. Elton Bloor, King Og. But this game was another game you can have your fun with too.
Game was fun, and I think they bled on this game. They either
They bled.
or either if somebody could spit mist in your face,
they did both.
It would stay on your face.
They did both.
Yeah.
Because I remember one guy was like, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, little pixels is on PS. Like, what the hell is that? I'm like, this dirty dog done spit in my face. Can't do nothing. Yeah, Power Move Pro Wrestling, man, it was a fun game. Fun game.
I like to throw a shout out to WWF Wrestle Warzone because that was the first game that I can recall with a creator wrestler feature. And I that, and then when the next game after that, WWF Attitude, I played with my created characters more than I did with the actual people on the game, and they just kind of set the stage. And of course, all the SmackDown games had that, No Mercy had it, all of that. So, but it seems like it all stems back from WWF Warzone.
Yep. I had speaking of SmackDown, I had SmackDown versus Raw. I think it was 2008. I think it had Lashley, The Undertaker, and Cena on the cover.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. I played it on Nintendo Wii. It was interesting. Well, it was interesting. Very interesting.
I can imagine playing that on the Wii with the way that controller was, where you had to put it together. Like one of the games. Yeah. Like one of the games that's still sticking out to me, and this is from like the early '90s, WWF Royal Rumble from 1993, the one with Bret, Undertaker, Mr. Perfect, Yoko, Razor, and Shawn Michaels on the cover. Dude, that game was amazing.
You know, it was another dope game too.
Another one.
Monday Night Raw for Sega Genesis.
Yes, that one was a good one. That's the one where they had the crazy special moves, like that can knock the people out the ring.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. Is this the one where you can be like, yeet, and then just throw somebody out the ring?
Up in the air. And I want to say, Mr. Perfect would like spin around in the air and drop kick you, and like you go flying out the ring or something.
Yeah.
That had Luna Vachon on it too, right?
Mm-hmm. I believe it did. Yes, sir, it did. She's on the cover.
She was tough.
Yeah, she was the only woman on the wrestling roster on that game. Because I think I'm looking at the roster now. Dang, this thing had 1, 2, 3 Kid, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bret Hart, Crush, Diesel, Doink. Quang was a hidden character on the 32X. So did you guys ever have the Sega Genesis?
Yeah, I had the Genesis.
So the 32X, for those that don't know what the 32X is, it was a extension thing that you could buy to like upgrade your game.
You put it on the
32-bit, and you put it in, and you had to have these metal prongs in there, stick it in your Genesis, and then you could play other games for this extended thing. And Quang was an unlockable character with like a code on the 32X.
I never knew that. Y'all remember the Game Genie?
Yes.
Love the Game Genie.
Yeah, my best friend had one.
The Game Genie was, and man, in the hood, if you had the Game Genie, couldn't nobody tell you nothing.
For real.
Yeah,
between that Sega channel.
If you had a buddy that had a Sega, man, my homeboy had a Sega channel. I ain't leave his house in 2 days. I ain't leave his house in 2 days.
Yeah.
Mom said, "Boy, where you at?" I'm over at our drill house. We all playing that Sega channel, Mama. Yeah. Over there 2 days in a row. Doing it something serious, man. But yeah, those video games are fun, man. I'm trying to think, is there another one?
WrestleMania, the arcade game.
Can't forget that one.
I remember that one, yeah, from 1995.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wasn't it the one that was kind of it was the first foray into like motion capture, and it actually had the people in there. Yeah, I remember that. Oh wow.
The worst of the video games though, The version of Raw for Xbox.
Oh yeah. Oh, both of those, like Raw 1 and 2
And
was
two, it was like the
drizzling shits.
controllers was, boy, it was, man, it was 5 types of bad. That's how bad it was.
He's like
It was awful.
5 types of bad.
Good Lord, that's
I
bad.
don't, cause I don't know if you remember, like for me it was the controllers. I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? The controllers, and this thing wonky as hell. Yeah, it was no fun, bro. I was like, you know what? Because I think did I buy it? No, I rented it. I took it back the next day.
Yeah, I unfortunately bought both. I think I bought them used,
no,
though,
I'm
at least.
sorry.
Yeah, I ended up trading them back in. But yeah, the graphics were okay, but the gameplay, yeah, was just awful. It was like you said, Eddie, the controls were very unresponsive.
THQ no better than that as a THQ thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? WCW Thunder on on the PlayStation 1. That was off. I took that back I actually bought that, and I think I took it back the next day, but fortunately back then that's when you could like return games and no problem. Plus I knew the people at the electronic boutique where I worked, so it was like, oh, okay. I forgot what I got instead, but yeah, it was not good at
That
all.
game was good. That one and the Nitro game too.
Yeah, I had it on 64, WCW Thunder. It was bad fun, if that makes sense. You can run around in the bag and hit people with stuff, fighting everything, and it was one of those bad games that was an okay game. That damn Raw for 1 and 2 for Xbox, it was just
not good.
And that's when they went from them damn big bulky controllers. You know how the Xbox had the big overgrown hair bow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was big fat. I couldn't stand those old controllers.
Big old controller.
Yeah.
Hands would get cramped. Like I can't even get my thumb over here to this button to press the button. What was it?
This thing messing up juggling our thumbs.
You remember the 2 WCW games that came out in 99 and 2000, Mayhem and Backstage Assault?
Yes, those were awful too.
Those games were so bad. I think it was at a turning point where I was trying to figure out, do I stick around and support WCW or do I just jump ship? Which I didn't jump ship.
Yeah.
I didn't jump ship. But that game, I rented it. I remember with the Blockbuster, rented WCW Mayhem. I drove right back to Blockbuster like 2 hours later.
He put it, hey, Marcus, the car didn't even get cold.
Nope.
I said, this game is so bad. It is so bad. I want to rent something else. I was like, I'll just rent something else for PlayStation 1. Just give me something. This game is not it. This game is awful. It was so bad. So bad.
A lot of times you probably think, yeah, we got a hit with this, man. You are clearly swinging and missing.
It was EA. It was EA.
And EA no better than that. Man, EA has made all the Maddens, the NHLs, baseball, NBA Live, NCAA baseball, which was a fun one for Xbox. Fun one. You made all that stuff. You couldn't get the rest of them right. Matter of fact, did EA make Shaq Fu? I think EA made Shaq Fu.
Oh no,
they did.
Ooh.
They did.
Which that is regarded as one of the worst fighting games ever.
Dude, that's one of my favorite games of all time.
Really?
It is. It was different. I was a Shaq mark back then. I was like, oh, Shaq fighting, and then you got Seth Rollins, the Mummy, Nizu, who this bit, but he was beating everybody's ass. You had
the cat girl,
Kaori,
Catcher or something.
Kaori.
Oh yeah. Right? Where'd that come from?
Then you had Memphis. He was like a blue skeleton with a fucking look like Cloak from Cloak and Dagger, but like old and
right.
Yeah. Who else? Man, Shaq Fu had a bunch of people on there. Seth Rollins, who looked like Shredder with a or wrapped up. Take Shredder and take a mummy and put them together. You get Seth Rollins.
Yeah. There was that red monster dude. He had like
Beast.
claw hands or something.
Beast. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I remember there was like a cyborg soldier dude.
Yeah.
Got his name.
Shaq Fu was. Anybody, if you got an emulator, and you want some games to look, Shaq Fu, Sonic Spinball, pretty much anything you hear on the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling podcast, you need to find it. You need to go and check it out. I ain't gonna lie to you, fellas. I forgot we was on a pod. No, I'm joking. I'm watching the whole thing right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been another episode of the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling podcast. Y'all got anything to say before we get the hell up out of here?
I'm about to go hunker down before it get nasty because it's getting close to when those clouds supposed to be heading over Atlanta, and yeah, hopefully I don't get shut down. But yeah, I don't know. For those, if y'all are listening, and if somebody's listening that was in the path of the storm, either in Florida, Georgia, possibly on the right over the Bama borderline, even up in the northwestern tip of South Carolina, North Carolina, and even a little bit of southeastern Tennessee. Hope y'all are safe. Hope y'all are good. All that good stuff. That's all I really got.
Anything to say, Brad?
Make sure you drink water and get your sleep. That's all I got.
That's a good call.
Yeah. Stay hydrated, guys. I mean, it's been a crazy day, but hey, we're still here. We got it done. Hey, got it done. And make sure this week. Let's see. Is anything happening this week? Oh, this weekend. Make sure if y'all watch Collision, make sure you watch Hologram. The Beast Mortos and Dralistico for AEW Grand Slam Collision, whatever the heck they're calling it, because that match is going to be the match of the night. Frank Mortos, Attorney Beast at Law.
Frank Mortos.
My God.
Matt Taven, as much as I can't stand Matt Taven, that's the best thing he has ever said.
Frank Morton.
But yes, please make sure y'all watch that match this weekend because it is going to be amazing.
It's going to be banana. Yeah, it's going to be banana. All I got to say is y'all continue to be nice to each other. To everybody that's in the path of the storm, hunker down. I never understood why people go to the store and grab milk, eggs, and bread, because how are you going to make French toast with no power?
I got a bunch of candy and booze. That's all I went in a car charger.
And a car charger?
I went to Five Below to get a car charger, and I walked out with a bunch of candy and my car charger. And then I went next door to Total Wine and more and got some wine, some beer, and some White Claw.
Total Wine.
Bear Essentials, baby. Bear Essentials.
Wow.
My wife and my daughter are at Grandma's house, and they're in the path of the storm, too. I'm here by myself, so...
Yeah.
See, I got my Bluey shirt on right now, so I'm a big-ass 12-year-old.
Bluey gang. Marcus gonna get off of here and jump up on the couch. No, but
jump into bed.
yeah. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves, man. Make sure y'all good down there. Help each other out. Also, in certain parts of the country, it's still warm like summer. Make sure you wear some deodorant of some kind, because if you buy me stinking, I'm gonna look at you.
Wash that butt.
Yeah. Wash. W-A-R-S-H. Yeah, wash. And then closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They'll greatly appreciate it now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden, and wash your ass. It's been another episode of the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. Eddie, Marcus, Brad, we out of here.
Peace, y'all.
Don't forget to follow us on all our socials. Go to the description box for the link. All right? Bring your ass.
All right.